Hi, it's me Tutor Binod. In this video, we are going to see about the simplification of rational expression. Rational expression are the expression which are of the form like this: b over 6 and 2a square over 5, x minus y over x plus z, and so forth. This kind of expression are called rational expression, which are in the form something over something. So the goal of this video is to make us familiar on how to simplify the rational expression. So let me introduce you about the steps for doing so. First of all, you should know how to take the LCM of the denominator. Suppose I have a over v plus c over d. First of all, we must be able to find the LCM of the denominator. The LCM of the denominator in this case will be vd. The second step you do is you will divide the LCM by the denominator of the first expression. Whatever comes, you multiply with the numerator of that expression and put it on the top. The sign in the middle will be over here, and you do the same thing for the second expression. You will divide the LCM by the denominator of the second one. Whatever comes, you multiply with the numerator and put it here. So this is the way we elaborate for the simplification of rational expression. Let me show you by concrete example. Suppose I have x over 2 plus y over 3. The first step is we should be able to take the LCM of the denominator. What is the LCM? Least common multiple of 2 and 3. Let us elaborate 2. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. Similarly, 3 times 1 is 3, 2 is 6. So 6 will be the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3. So let me write 6 over here. The second step is how many times the LCM or the 6 is 2. It's 2 times 3 is 6. So 3 times x is 3x. So 3 times x will be there in my first case. The plus sign comes over here. Whereas if you divide 6 by 3, you would get 2. 2 times y will give us 2y. Therefore, if we want to simplify this rational expression, you would get 3x plus 2 over 6. We are given this equation. The first step is we are supposed to get the LCM of the denominator. So what will be the LCM of a plus 2 a minus 2? It will be a plus 2 a minus 2. Now the second step is you divide the LCM by the denominator of this one. How much you get? If you divide a plus 2 a minus 2 by a plus 2, you will have a minus 2 remain. Then the numerator of the first term, we should multiply it by the remaining a minus 2. Now we have the subtract sign over here, put as it is. Now the numerator part of this is a minus 1. I write a minus 1 as it is because there is a negative sign. I should always use a bracket if I have the terms with more than one expression over here. So in this case, if you divide the LCM by the denominator of the second term, you will get how much? You will get a plus 2. So I'm gonna multiply by a plus 2 to the numerator of the second term. This is how we do the second step. Now let us do the multiplication of this. So if I want to take it out, I would do a square plus minus 2a, a square minus 2a. Now with this term, this is 4 times a is positive 4a, 4 times 2 is negative 8 because here is negative sign. Negative times positive is negative. 4 times 2 is 8. So this is how we do this part. Similarly, can you please try to do this part? Did you get it? Now let us do it together. So this is a square plus 2a. Since we are dealing with negative sign, it is better, or we must put the bracket because we are dealing with the negative sign, otherwise you would get the wrong answers. So I'm gonna write a square plus 2a. Now the term is of -1. -1 times a is -a, -a. -1 times 2 is -2, so -2. And we have the LCM as a plus 2, a minus 2. Now let me do it over here. So the numerator part will be a square minus 2a. 2a plus 4a is positive 2a. Let me write positive 2a, then followed by -8. Now minus times plus a square is -a square. Similarly we'll get positive a over here. If you're gonna subtract a from 2a, I'll get positive a, but if I want to multiply this with minus, I'll get negative a. Similarly, if I gonna multiply minus times minus, I would have positive, so there will be positive 2 over here. That's all in the numerator, whereas we have a plus 2, a minus 2 term as it is on the top. Now this negative a square and positive a square is gone, and 2a minus a is again a. So on the numerator part I will have a plus 2, whereas in the denominator part I have a plus 2, a minus 2. This a plus 2 and this a plus 2 is gone, so I would have 1 over a minus 2. Now let's do this equation. So the first step is we are supposed to in this case we are supposed to find the LCM, but before finding the LCM we need to factorize this term. So let me put it on the side and try to factorize it first. I have x square plus x minus 2. I must get x over here, so 1x. How to get 1x? If I do 2 minus 1, I would get 1, whereas if I multiply 2 times 1, I would get 2. So this will be working for this one in order to factorize. So x minus 2, so it would be x square plus 2x minus 2, which would give me x common, x plus 2, and -1 common, it will be x plus 2. So my factors are x plus 2 and x minus 1. Let me write it this as this expression, whereas this is in the form a square minus b square, which would be equals to x minus 1, x plus 1. So the second step will be x plus 2. If I gonna factorize the denominator of the first term, I would get x plus 2, x minus 1, x plus 2, x minus 1. Similarly, if I want to see the second terms, the denominator part is in the form x square minus 1 square, which is x minus 1, x plus 1. Now let us find the LCM of the denominator. What is the LCM? Clearly it will be x minus 1, x plus 1, and x plus 2, because this is the least common multiple of both this term, because this is divisible by both this term, whereas it is the least common multiple of these two terms. Now let us divide this LCM by the denominator of this first term. I would be getting x plus 2 and x minus 1 are gone, so I would be having x plus 1, which I should multiply by x plus 2. So x plus 2 times x plus 1. Similarly, in the second term I would have 3 x minus 1 and x plus 1. If you divide this by this one, you would get x plus 2. So x plus 2 will be over here. If you're gonna take the things out of the bracket, or if you want to simplify it further, you would be getting x times x is x square, x times 1 is x, so x square plus x. Now I have to do the same thing with 2. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 1 is 2, so plus 2x plus 2. Similarly, the second one will give us 3x plus 3 times 2 is 6 over, I would have x minus 1, then x plus 1, then x plus 2. So let's see what will happen from here. If I add x with 2x, I would get 3x. 3x plus 3x would be 6x. So I have x squared term over here plus, can I write 6x? Yes, because 3x plus 3x would be 6x, whereas 2 plus 6 would be 8, plus 8 over x minus 1, x plus 1, x plus 2. Now my goal is to factorize this in order to see if I have something common in numerator and denominator. So if I gonna factor it, my coefficient of x square and this, if I multiply it, I would get 8. 8 times 1 is 8, but while adding I must get 6. So if you want to factorize it, 2 times 4 is 8 and 2 plus 4 is 6, so this will work. So I would be having x square plus 4x plus 2x plus 8 over here, which would give me x plus 4, whereas 2 common on this side, so x plus 4, which would give me x plus 2, x plus 4. So this term in the numerator will give me x plus 2, x plus 4, whereas the denominator is x minus 1, x plus 1, x plus 2. So x plus 2 and x plus 2 are gone, so the remaining will be my answer. So how much is left? On the numerator I have only x plus 4, and on the denominator I would have x minus 1 and x plus 1. So that's how you do it. So I would have x plus 4 on the numerator, whereas x minus 1, x plus 1 on the denominator. So that's how you do it. This is the answer for our given question. So from here I would come to this one. Now let us do question number 3. The first expression is 1 over x minus y, x minus z, whereas the second expression is 1 over z minus x, y minus z. So in this type of question, we first have to see what we can get LCM, because here is x minus z, whereas we have here z minus x. So how can we make this g minus x as x minus g? If I gonna take negative 1 common, I gonna have x minus g over here. So let me do that. So the first term will be x minus y, x minus z, but the second term I gonna take out negative 1 common over here, so it would be x minus g, because if I get negative 1 common from g, I would be ending up with negative z, whereas if I get negative 1 from negative x, I would have positive x. But let me write y minus z as it is, so that it would be easier for me to get the LCM, because this term and this term are now same. So let me also make you clear that negative 1 times this is also negative, so this is negative over here, so it will be ended up with positive now. So let me write that over here, 1 over x minus y, because negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1. So x minus z, this will be positive now, it will be x minus z, y minus z. Now it becomes a normal problem as we had done it earlier. So now we must do the LCM. If we want to take the LCM out of these two expressions of the denominators, it would be x minus z, x minus y, and y minus z. Now we have to divide the LCM by the denominator of the first term. How much we got? Because x minus z is gone, x minus y is gone, y minus z. So y minus z would be over here, whereas plus sign is here. X minus g, y minus z, x minus g, y minus z is gone, so x minus y part will be remain, but I have to multiply that with 1, which will be as it is. So if I want to go further, I would be getting y minus z plus x plus y. On the bottom we have x minus z, x minus y, y minus z. I have done one mistake over here. This is x minus y because everything in the LCM is in x minus z, x minus y, y minus z term. So this would be minus over here, whereas this would be minus over here. So this y and this y will be gone. So I would have x minus z over x minus z, x minus y, y minus z. So x minus z is gone, which would give me 1 over x minus y, y minus z. So this will be the answer of our simplification. Now let us see another question, which is very similar to the earlier question we have done. In this question I have 3 expressions. Now let me try to see what can I do over here. The first term is a minus 2, a minus 3 on the denominator side. Similarly, if you want to see the denominator of this one, I have a minus 3 over here, but I have 3 minus a over here. As before, I can take negative 1 common from this expression. If I take negative common from this expression, negative 1 common, I would be getting a minus 3. So I would be doing that in my next step. Similarly, if I come over here, I have a terms in the beginning, so I would try to make it a minus 1 instead of 1 minus a. What can I do? How can I do that? If I take negative 1 common, I would be getting a minus 1 over here. Similarly, if I want to do a minus 2 instead of 2 minus a over here, I would be taking negative 1 common over here, so that I would be getting a minus 2. Let me show you over here. 2 minus a, if I want to have negative 1 common, now this is the expression, equals to 2 over a minus 2, a minus 3. The second term I would be doing 2, I would be getting negative 1 common from this second expression on the denominator. The first is a minus 1. Now I want to put a in the beginning by taking negative 1 common. If I take negative 1, let me write times negative 1 over here, which would be giving me a minus 3, because if I take negative from 3, I would be getting negative 3, whereas the negative sign of a would be disappearing with the positive 1. So this will be my second expression. Similarly, if I do the same thing for 3, I would be getting a minus 1 if I get negative 1 common. Similarly, for the second one also, if I get the negative common, I would be getting a minus 2. I hope you understand this part. If you understand this part, this is simple from here, as we had done in our question number 3. So the first expression, let me write as it is for now, 2 over a minus 2, a minus 3. Similarly, on the second expression, I would be having, since this negative 1, there is negative 1 over here, so this positive is also equivalent to negative times negative. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So if I gonna cancel this negative sign, I would be having negative sign over here. So let me write negative over here instead of positive, so that I can get rid of this negative sign over here, which would be giving me a minus 1, a minus 3. Similarly, the third term is, I have 2 negative over here. Negative times negative is positive, so this will be remaining as positive sign over here, whereas the denominator will be a minus 1, a minus 2. I hope you got this part, because let me make you clear one more time, because this negative times negative would be positive, whereas I have a minus 1, a minus 2 in multiple form, so I write as it is. Now you can take the LCM of all, or let me do first 2 term first. So if I gonna have this 2 term first, I'd be having LCM as a minus 1, a minus 2, and a minus 3. If I gonna divide the LCM by this denominator, I would be getting a minus 2 is gone, a minus 3 is gone, so a minus 1, so 2 times a minus 1. Similarly, let me write this negative sign as it is over here, negative. I have 2 over there. Let me find the multiple. So if I gonna divide the LCM by the denominator of this, I'd be cancelling a minus 1 and a minus 3, a minus 1, a minus 3. I would be remaining, the remaining term will be a minus 2, a minus 2 plus, let me write this term as it is, a minus 1, a minus 2. Let me erase this part so that I can do it further. Now from this expression I would be writing it over here. So now this one will give me 2a minus 2, whereas negative 2 times a is negative 2a, and negative times negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4, over my term over here will be a minus 1, a minus 2, a minus 3 plus the term over here would be 1 over a minus 1, a minus 2, which would give me 2a is gone over here. 4 minus 2 is 2, so I would be having 2 over a minus 1, a minus 2, and a minus 3, whereas over here I would be having a minus 1, a minus 2. I will be getting, take the LCM of the denominator of this two term. I would be having a minus 1, a minus 2, a minus 3. That will be my LCM. But if I want to divide with the denominator of the first term, I would be having 1, so I would be getting 2 over here, plus if I gonna divide 1, if I gonna divide the LCM by this number, I would be having what? I would be having a minus 3. So this will give me a minus 1, because negative 3 plus 2 will be negative 1, a minus 1 over a minus 1, a minus 2, and a minus 3. So a minus 1 and a minus 1 is gone, so it would give me 1 over a minus 2, a minus 3. This is how you simplify the rational expression. I hope this video works for you. And finally, if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and hit the bell icon so that you won't miss any update from my side, because I would be bringing you more helpful math topics in later videos. For now, stay safe and healthy. Thank you.